Vortex-based math is number magic. Hello, my name is Gabrielle Ensign, and I am the author of Behind Every Sunflower, Vortex-based Mathematics, Sacred Geometry, and the Blueprints of Creation. Welcome to my first video. I'm going to be releasing a series of 8 videos on vortex-based mathematics. If you've already read my book, some of this information is going to be the same, but I encourage you to continue watching because there's going to be some new information as well. If you've never read my book, you can go to behindeverysunflower.com and download my free ebook. And if you'd like to help support me in my work, there's also a link there to purchase the paperback on Amazon for only $30. So just real quick, vortex-based mathematics was discovered by Rodin in the mid to late 70s. And if you've ever seen or heard of Rodin coils, that's kind of where that came from. Since vortex-based mathematics is the underlying coding language of the universe, there's a lot of people that are finding that there are ways to tap into that. Once you understand the language that it speaks, you can really back engineer and use this to harness this energy, the zero-point energy, or the ether, as you could call it. Vortex-based mathematics is entirely in the realm of sacred geometry, and it's like its sister language, I guess. If you've heard of sacred geometry and you've never heard of vortex-based mathematics, then I really encourage you to watch these videos. You're going to find a lot of the Platonic polyhedra, polygonal math, and harmonic numbers can be found in vortex-based mathematics. And there's not a lot of videos out there that are connecting vortex-based mathematics with this harmonic numerical aspect of nature and creation. You'll hear Randall Carlson talk about a lot of these same numbers like 432 and 2160 and 864 and 144. All these different numbers that you find throughout nature can also be seen in ancient texts and ancient megalithic structures. And so I'm trying to really connect the world of harmonic math and sacred geometry to the world of sacred geometry, to the world of vortex-based mathematics, so that way we can see how they connect. One of the major aspects that I get into in my book, and that we can see all throughout vortex-based math, is phi, or the Fibonacci sequence. It's an aspect ratio that we're going to find everywhere in nature. You can find it most often within a pine cone or a sunflower. And the reason why they call it vortex-based mathematics is because that curvature, that spiral that we find within like the pine cone or the sunflower, it's the same basic idea except for you're going to find it more prevalent within like a tornado or a hurricane or a spiral galaxy. That curving nature also follows the phi spiral, the golden ratio. If you cut an apple in half, you can see this same toroidal kind of shape. It's everywhere in the universe. Even if you look at a tree, you can find the tops of the tree to the bottom, the roots of the tree are still following this whole toroidal kind of shape. If we look at the Earth's magnetic field, it's a toroid shape as well. It's that apple kind of a shape. And even if we look at just a magnet, this is a ferrocell, a device that I don't know who invented it, but I made a copy. Me and my friend, we made this, and these are my photos. And you can see this toroidal flow within the magnet, the actual flux within the magnet itself. And so I'm going to get in on this video really just the basics of the numerical sequences that you can find. And if you're already familiar with the basics of vortex-based mathematics, you can kind of skip over this video if you want to get to some of my discoveries. But I wanted to introduce this to the people who haven't heard of vortex-based math and just kind of go through those basic core sequences and geometries and how they're found. So this is the Rodin symbol, what Marco Rodin calls God's light cone, and I'm just going to give you a basic idea of what this symbol means. You can see there's two aspects of the symbol. We have the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, back to 1, infinity loop that goes on. That's what vortex math calls the doubling circuit. And then you have this 693, which is the dotted line here. And the reason why it's a dotted line is that the 396 and the 124875 work separately. The 124875 is more of like the physical aspect of creation, whereas the 6, 9, and 3 are the more etheric, the electromagnetic kind of aspects of creation. And so I'm going to get into some of the math here. In biology, there's something called mitosis, and so we all start out as one single cell. And when that cell splits, it creates two cells, and then 2 becomes 4, it splits again, becomes 8, then 16, then 32, 64, and then now we're this biological being right now. So in vortex-based mathematics, there's something called the doubling sequence. So if we take the number 1, and we double it to 2, then to 4, then to 8, then we'll get 16. But if we do something called digital root math, or find the digital root sum, we take 6 and 1 and we add it together and we get 7. Okay? We do the same thing, double 16, we get 32. Find its digital root sum, we get 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. Now this is where it gets interesting, because when we double 32, we get 64. 64 equals 10, which equals 1. 1 plus 0 equals 1. We'll double that again. 128 equals 11, which equals 2. Double that again, we get 256, which equals 13. 3 and 1 equals 4. We're going to double 256, and we get 512, and that's going to equal 8. 512 doubled, 1024, which equals 7. Double that again, 2048 equals 14, equals 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. If you keep on doubling it, it's going to go 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 infinitely. Okay? That's the doubling sequence, and it's kind of amazing that it even exists. Now that there's another thing. If we have the numbers instead, so let's take what's 1 half of 1. We got 0.5. Half of 0.5 is 0.25. Well, this equals 5, of course. 5 and 2 equals 7. Half of 0.25 is 0.125. We get 8. Half of 0.125 equals 0.0625 equals 6, 79, 2, 11, plus 13 equals 4. And we're going to have that again, 0, 3, 1, 2, 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 equals 2. We have that one more time, and we're going to get, let's see, 0.015625. We're going to add all those up. 5, 7, 13, 18, 19. 9 and 1 is 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. So that sequence 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 is going to go infinitely if halving. Well, actually the opposite of it, which would be 5, 7, 8, 4, 2, 1. Let's get into the 3 and the 6. Take 3 times 2, double it. You get 6. We double 6 times 2 is 12. 1 equals 3. We double 12, we get 24. 4 and 2 equals 6. Double that again, 48 equals 12, which equals 3. 6, 3, 6, 3, doubled, always goes back and forth, back and forth. It's this polar opposite kind of effect. So 6 and 3 have this positive, negative, reciprocal flow between each other. And then 9, we haven't done 9 yet. 9, well, let's take 9 times 2. It was 18 equals 9. What about 9 times 3? It's 27. 7 and 2 equals 9. Let's take 5 times 5. 9 times 5 equals 45. Equals 9. 9 times 9 equals 81. Equals 9. Any number you multiply by 9 is always going to equal 9. And in math they call that the rule of 9. And so 9 works as this central balance within the system. And so if we go back to the Rodin symbol here, 9 follows this central axis. The 6 and the 3 are this polar oscillating kind of effect, a positive and negative. And the reason that you don't see a line connected between 6 and 3 is that the 6 always gets to the 3 through 9. And once you start studying vortex-based mathematics, you're going to find that there's this sequence, what Marco calls the flux field, which is 669,339. It goes back and forth, 669,339, 669,339. The 6 and the 3 never connect. And there's some depictions out there that show this symbol with the 6 and the 3 connecting, and that's not accurate. Because the more and more you study vortex-based mathematics, the more you're going to find that that they're not supposed to connect. The only way through to each other is through the 9. And so what we have again is the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 doubling circuit, and then we have the 6, 9, 3, the flux pathway. Okay? So now we're going to get into the polar pairs. So within the Rodin symbol, we have the polar pairs. If we look at the Rodin symbol down its middle axis, it's like it's left and right opposites of each other. The 8 and the 1 is going to equal 9. The 7 and the 2 will equal 9. The 6 and 3 equal 9. And the 5 and the 4 equal 9. And so you'll find within the doubling circuit, if we take any of the polar pairs and we multiply them by 1 through 9, we can get these polar pair sequences. And there's 3 polar pair sequences and they're opposites. So 1 would have its polar pair with 8, 2 its polar pair with 7, and 4 with 5. 3 and 6 also have their polar pair sequences, but they're a little bit different since they're working in a different state, as you would say, since they're etheric and not physical. So if we take 1 through 9 and we multiply it by each of the polar pairs, we will get the sequence. So the digit 1 multiplied by 1 through 9, we get the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We multiply 8 by 1 through 9, we will get 8 times 1 equals 8, 8 times 2 equals 16 equals 7, 8 times 3 equals 24 equals 6, 8 times 4 equals 32 equals 5. We're going to get the sequence 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 9. Just the same as the sequence of 1, but opposite. If we go to 2 and 7, multiply it by 1 through 9, we get 2 times 1 equals 2, 2 times 2 equals 4, 2 times 3 equals 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And then with 7, we're going to get its opposite, 7, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, 4, 2, 9. If we go over to 5, 4 and 5, 4 times 1 equals 4, 4 times 2 equals 8, times 3 is 12, which equals 3, times 4 is 16, which equals 7, 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, 9, and then its opposite, 5, would be 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. So down here we have each of the sequences, the polar pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 9, 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 7, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, 4, 2, 9, and 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, 9, with 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. So the polar pairs really have this like positive, negative kind of counter reciprocal balance, just like the 3 and the 6 kind of do, but in their own way. So here you can see a visual description. 8 and 1 equals 9, 7 and 2 is 9, 6 and 3 is 9, 5 and 4 is 9, and there are the sequences. Down here we find something interesting, because if we take the sequence and we ignore the 3, 6s, and 9s, but then add together the digital root sum of all the other numbers, we get 2 and 1 equals 3, then we leave the 3 alone equals 3, 4 and 5 equals 9, leave the 6 alone equals 6, 7 and 8 equals 15, which equals 6, and then 9 we leave alone is 9. So that gives us 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9, which is kind of what I mentioned earlier about the polar pairs. Or I'm sorry, the flux field, the 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9 flux field. So we can see that kind of flux, that same flux field sequence going on when we add these numbers together. And then we'll take the 8 and do the same thing. 8 and 7 equals 15, which is 6, and then we have 6. 5 and 4 is 9, and we have 3. 2 and 1 equals 3, and then we have 9. So 6, 6, 9, 3, 3, 9, which is, of course, the opposite of 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9. Same thing's going to happen over here. If we look at 2 and 7, we get 6, 6, 9, 3, 3, 9, and 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9. And then with 4 and 5, we have 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9, and then 6, 6, 9, 3, 3, 9. So there's just one way we're going to find that 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9 flux field, and we're going to find that in a lot of other places in vortex-based mathematics if you read the book. So Marco Rodin and his colleagues came up with the 147 shears, which is number maps, and we take these core sequences within vortex-based mathematics, and we can fit them all together into this number map. And there's 3 number maps, and they're opposites, which makes 6. And what they're made up of are the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 doubling circuit going down and up, the 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9 flux field, and then it repeats the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 going down and up, and then same thing. So in shear 1, we have the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 circuit going up, then down, then the flux field, and then at the 45-degree angles, we have the polar pair sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then its opposite going the opposite direction. And then on this side, we have the sequence 1, 5, 9, 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, and its opposite going the other way. And so when you find that these numbers are all fitting together like a lock and key, it's almost like the perfect grid map for coherence within a numerical kind of way of saying that. And so the reason why they call it shear 1, shears 1, 4, 7, if we take any of these grid maps like on shear 1 and we look between the flux fields, 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9, these circuit flux fields, we can multiply any of these two numbers together and they'll equal 1. Okay, so 7 times 4 equals 28, and 8 and 2 is 10 equals 1. 8 and 8 is 64, which equals 1. 7, there's 7 times 4 again. 5 times 2 equals 10, which is 1. 1 times 1 equals 1. So that's why he calls it shear 1. Because those they always identify with that digit between the shears of the flux fields. And so here's the Rodin map B. It's exactly the same, except for it's going to be its opposite. Rodin shear 4. We have the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5 going down this time in the first column, and then going up in the second, and then the 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9 in the third, and then it repeats. And then for the polar pair sequences, again, we have the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and its opposite going at this angle. And then we have the 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 going at this angle here. And I forgot to mention that I'm showing these grids within this type of arrangement. Typically you wouldn't see it like this. It would actually be shifted on the 45-degree angles, and these squares would be diamonds. And the reason why I shifted it is because it's kind of easier to see the placement of these sequences. And then on the third, shear 4b, same thing except for its opposite. And then we have shear 7, which is the 124.875 going down, going up in the second. We have the flux field 339.669. And then over here we have the sequence 246813.579 and its opposite on going at this angle. And on this side we have the 483726159 going at both directions. So that fits in all three of the sequences that we've seen already. The 124875 doubling circuit, the 339669 flux field, and the polar pair sequences, the three of them and their opposites. And then we have an 18-digit sequence up here. And so if I go back to shear 1, we see at the top of this we have this 18-digit sequence. And by the way, these are 18 by 18 digit grids, which they can repeat all over themselves, and then find that they can go on infinitely, right? They're gonna fit together with themselves on anywhere you put it. But these are the core 18 by 18 digit grid. So on the top we have this 1165297438834799256 sequence. That's right up here. Okay, and so within the Rodin shears 1, 4, and 7, we have this new sequence now of this 18-digit sequence, and those are going to be, you're going to find that those are going to be more important the more you get into vortex-based mathematics and see how they relate. And I'll be going into one of them in more detail in video 3, where I can find one of those sequences within the Fibonacci sequence. So shear 1, shear 4, and then shear 7, and then its opposite. So those are the primary sequences within vortex-based mathematics. It's not a whole lot, but within those core sequences, you're going to get its core functionality, and then you're going to, depending on where you look, you're going to find these sequences. And the strange thing is that they connect in so many different areas. And by the way, the vortex-based mathematics is numbers, but numbers also are relative to geometry. When you have number, you have geometry. When you have geometry, you have numbers. You can't separate the two. And so that's why the geometry of the Rodin symbol is really important when you start to understand how things relate through math, through numbers and geometry. And I'll show you evidence for that. So what Marco and his colleagues did is they took the Rodin number maps and they placed it on a toroid, like a skin, and the reason why they did that is because the toroid is such an apparent shape within nature and the universe, and it is the perfect shape for equilibrium balance and for the flow of energy to move in its least resistance. And so it makes a lot of sense why they would kind of do that, because within the structure of reality itself, I think even the electrons are not just solid particles. They're probably actually more following spherical resonance and toroidal shapes, just like you would see with the magnetic field or spiral galaxy. A black hole, by the way, is a toroidal vortex, and I believe, and many others believe, there's a white hole on the other end, wherever that is. So again, to repeat, the primary sequences we're going to have are 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. Okay, we have 3, 3, 9, 6, 6, 9. Okay, those are the cores. We have the polar pairs, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and its opposite. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and its opposite. And we have 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, and 9, and its opposite. Those are the polar pair sequences. And then we have the Rodin shear 18-digit sequences, which are, see if I can write this out, 1, 1, 6, 5, 2, 9, 7, 4, 3, 8, 9. And how I knew that is because when we see that there's a pattern going on here between 3, we have all these right here is a 1, and then we have, those are a 5, and we have 7, 8, 4, and 2. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, and then we have the, which I didn't mention, are the family number groups. You're going to have the family number groups are 147, 825, and 396. And so here we have 147, 396, 825, and you'll see this repeating in between the numbers that are all the same, 147, 369, 825. And so that's really interesting when you put these 18-digit Rodin shear sequences together. You're going to find how they all relate to each other. And you could start anywhere as long as you any of the numbers that you correspond to with another number in its corresponding family number group. You can shuffle these up, and they're all gonna show this like strange lining up. Okay. So in my next video, I'm going to be talking about phi, Fibonacci, and how it connects to the Rodin symbol, and this is going to be really interesting. I call this, I found a map to the ether. So check me out in my next video. I will be at Tesla Tech this year on August 16th at 8 a.m. It runs from August 12th to the 14th. I'm sorry, August 12th to the 16th. And it's a 5-day, 30-speaker event. It's been going on for more than 30 years. And so I highly recommend checking that out. You can purchase online tickets, or you can purchase in-event tickets as well. And some of the other guests we're gonna have, there's Terrence Howard, Paul Harris is the inventor of the Therapy, and Bob Greener, amongst many others. So please go to teslatech2026.com and register, and I'll see you there.